MMA scraps is why most shows tap out then cry. We the ones like 'em now at the end of the bout with our hands to the.
Was there a point during that fight where you kind of felt like something just wasn't clicking for you?
Honestly, yeah. You know, I kind of, man, kind of a funny story was that, you know, we were on the Spike prelim, so we didn't get entrance songs, and they were playing that fucking Lady Gaga song, man, Poker Face, while we was walking in, right? And, you know, I hate this damn song, you know, and during the fight, you know, Ricardo kept pushing me against the cage, and one time I was sitting there against the cage, and I was getting kind of bored, and I started singing that song to myself in my head. and you know, but at that point, I kind of, you know, at the same time, I was like, what am I doing? You know, like, you know, why do I have this song in my head? You know, I should be focused on this fight, you know? And, you know, so my mind definitely, you know, just wasn't there, you know?
Yeah. Now, you know, one thing I was kind of impressed with when I was watching the fight was your ability to kind of get up. I mean, you've been taken down, you were getting right up. And I know that we don't have a cage at AMC, so I was a little bit surprised at, you know, your ability to do that. Where did that come from? Are you just working on the walls at AMC, or was that something that you've just always been good at?
I have no idea, honestly. It's just instinct. I mean, like, you know, this guy's on top, just get the hell up, you know? I have no idea where that stuff came from. And, like, I know the one time, yeah, a lot of people talk to me about it. I haven't never watched the fight, but I guess I scooted, you know, from the center over to the cage. Like, I've never done that before in my life. I got no idea where that came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good instinct to have, I guess.
Yeah, and that, to me, that was like probably the funnest part of the fight. You know, was you know, because that's when something was actually happening. You know. He's just in there holding me against the cage, trying to take me down. You know, I get bored, and you know, we're standing on the feet, and he's not throwing any punches. You know, and every time I come forward, he's just going for a takedown. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of boring. You know, so you know, that actually a little bit of scrambling. You know, I was like, fuck, you know, let's do something. You know, even you know, and that was ultimately, you know, my you know, my doom, or you know, was because, you know, I was just trying to get up, and, you know, ended up giving up the mount and giving up my back and all this stuff. Like, but, you know, I was just bored. I was like, man, you know, let's just do something. You know, take my back. Maybe I'll, you know, flip around in your guard and elbow you or something, you know?
Now, Matt, you're one of the things I like talking to you about is the fight game and video games too, because you're into both, and we get along as far as that's concerned. But so I'm going to chop it up with you real quick. Let's talk about Strikeforce. I assume you got to see the Fedor fight, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us, man, what were you thinking when you watched that? What went through your mind? Was that a surprise?
You know, I actually was kind of surprised, and I even picked Verdum to win. You can ask Matt. I told him. So I told him the day before. So I'm not making that up. But, yeah, but even though I picked him to win, like when it happened, I was still kind of in shock. Like, you know, I was like, really, you know, it looked just so surreal. Just, you know, just seeing Fedor getting tapped, you know, it was, you know, just unreal. So, but yeah, it was just unfortunately a quick fight.
Well, one of the things that I mentioned was that earlier in the show was, you know, I think some people thought that his time was coming, but I think that most people thought it may have been, if it was going to come, it would be knockout or decision. Submission just never seemed like something that would happen to Fedor, like he just wouldn't submit or he'd figure out a way to get out of it. Was the fact that he got submitted the real surprise, or the fact that he lost?
No, to me it was more the fact that he lost. But, you know, the fact that it was such a quick submission. I mean, you know, that was kind of shocking, but, you know, when you look at it, you know, realistically, I mean, you know, Verdum, anybody, you know, could get caught in his guard. You know, that's a dangerous spot to be, you know. You know, I thought Fedor. I thought the biggest mistake he made was that he thought that Verdun was more hurt than he actually was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, he was talking in the post-fight press conference and stuff. I watched all that, and he was talking about how he hurt him and, you know, knocked him down. And it looked to me like he was just off balance, like he barely got touched.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he definitely hit him, but it didn't look like a solid punch. Like he just, you know, got knocked off balance more than anything else. Now, I could definitely be wrong, but, you know, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, and watching the replay, it didn't look like he actually got knocked down. It looked like he, you know, I mean, it looked. Someone in the chat room said he was playing possum. I don't know if it was to that degree, but I think he maybe was off balance a little bit and got hit and kind of just went down. But yeah, definitely an exciting change of events for the heavyweight division, which now, and I, you know, we asked Chris's opinion on this. I'd like to ask your opinion. Does that now make this fight with Shane Carwin and Brock Lesnar for the #1 heavyweight in the world?
Nah, I think Fedor is still the #1 guy, in my opinion. But, I mean, you know, the rankings and stuff are just so subjective, you know. It's just, I don't really get into the whole, like, who's #1 and everything. I mean, you know, Fedor's, you know, how many, what is he, 32, 36, and 0 or whatever, you know, and 1 now. But
well, really 2, but yeah, I mean, basically 1, 27.
Yeah, how many wins, though? What, 30-something?
I think it was 27, I believe, is what his record was. But you never know. I mean, those things are never right anyway. I mean, you know, they probably have you wrong on a lot of them, too.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, the point is, either way, I mean, you know, you put Carwin and Brock's record together, and they don't have as many, you know, fights as he has wins. So,
sure,
you know, he's still, you know, the top guy, I think, you know, but that doesn't mean that he would beat them guys, you know. It's you know, MMA is just too subjective, you know.